Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for hanging out with us. Hour number 2 of the show. Good to see you. Thanks for hanging. We do appreciate it. Derek Gunn, Barrett Brooks, Rob Ellis. As we gear up, we are only 10 days away from that Super Bowl. That is for sure. All right, guys. So let's look at Mahomes and Hurts here. And we know how established Mahomes is. Perennial MVP, Super Bowl champion. You know, just an elite player, that's for sure. And I think Jalen Hurts really emerged this year in a lot of people's eyes as a force to be reckoned with. You know, showed you some signs last year, but really took it to a different level this season. So I'm not comparing accomplishment in any way, shape, or form. Just looking at what they've both done this year, statistically, and just kind of a feel with your eyeballs. So passing. Now, keep in mind, Hurts did miss 2 games and played the last game, you know, really where they weren't going all in, but nonetheless, Mahomes 5,250 passing yards, Jalen Hurts 3,701 touchdowns, 41 in the air for Mahomes, 22 in the air for Hurts, 12 interceptions for Mahomes, just 6 for Hurts. Completion percentage very close, 67 for Mahomes, 66.5 for Hurts, 105.2 passer rating for Mahomes, 101.6 for Hurts. Now, obviously, with the legs is where Hurts really has the numbers here. 760 rushing yards for Hurts, 358 for Mahomes, 13 touchdowns on the ground for Hurts, 4 for Mahomes. So Mahomes, 45 touchdowns total. Jalen Hurts, 35 touchdowns total. 6 interceptions for Hurts, 12 interceptions for Mahomes. Knowing full well how just dynamic Mahomes is, how close are these two now? Are they in a conversation? Can you even have a conversation where they're comparable, or is Hurts just not there yet in your estimation?
Honestly, I'm gonna tell the truth. I don't think that he's there yet. I mean, you look at those numbers, man. Damn. You know, and you don't. When you talk about MVP, it's more than just numbers. It's what you bring for the team. Well, I can't say not even just bringing it for the team, but what bringing it for the NFL. You know, his ability to be a draw and people love Mahomes. Bro, that's MVP level type of stuff, bro. So when you look at it, and he is great, but it still doesn't diminish how great Jalen Hurts has been, what he means to this team and this organization, what he's now meaning to the future of the quarterback position. You know what I'm saying? You can't downplay in any way how great Jalen is also. So in his own right, he's definitely up there as far as his brand. He's getting there. He's not there yet, but he's getting there with Patrick Mahomes. But man, 5,000 yards. Come on, man. That's
without Tyreek Hill. I'm with you. Like what Hurts has done is incredible. But I'm sorry, I can't comp him to Patrick Mahomes yet, man. He is not there yet. There's a lot to love with where this is headed. He was asked today, Hurts was, his best play of the season, and you know what Hurts' answer was? Season's not over yet. Like, how great is that? That is so him, right? But anyway, yeah, not with this guy. This guy is a whole different beast. But how about you, Gunnar?
There are a lot of things that Patrick Mahomes does you cannot teach a quarterback. That's just a God's gift. Some of the things he's able to do with the football in his hand. Now, you can mold him into a better version of what he is, but some of the things he does, and when you think you've seen everything, he brings something else to the equation. It tells you that this is a guy who's not satisfied with who he is. At the age of 27, he's already won an MVP. He's in his 3rd Super Bowl. He's had his best passing yards-wise of his young career. And he's done it, as you just said, because I was thinking about it, without that guy named Tyreek Hill. I mean, think about this. His best passing season ever without Tyreek Hill to throw to. Mm-hmm. They bring in a bunch of guys off the street. Now, obviously, he's got the best tight end in the game. But they bring a bunch of guys in off the streets who are afterthoughts with other teams and put them in roles here, and they still excel, still find a way to win 14 games, and still find a way to get to the Super Bowl. He doesn't always make the right plays, but he makes the plays at the right time. He always finds a way to make a play at the right time. Yeah. And it's usually an unconventional play when he does it.
Yes.
Who flips the ball over his hand? Who throws underhanded? Who throws sidearm when you got a rush bearing down on you? Who throws sidearm like this around the guy and hits the target that you're looking for? And you can't teach a lot of this stuff that he does. Mm-hmm. So Jalen Hurts is on an accelerated course in terms of getting to where Patrick Mahomes is, but he's not quite there yet. I mean, what Jalen Hurts has done, the transformation he's made in 1 year from 1 year to the next is nothing short of phenomenal. And hopefully Jalen will get that hardware like Patrick Mahomes has gotten. But right now, Patrick is still that dude in the NFL. When you talk about the elite of the elite, Patrick Mahomes is that dude at 27 years old.
Yeah, he's the best off-schedule quarterback, maybe we've ever seen. I don't know if I'm overstating that, but he's right there. Cannon, mobility, smarts. Now, the one area you can knock him a little bit is he'll throw some picks. I mean, 12 is not – it's not anything you can overlook. So if you're the Eagles, you need to be opportunistic because he trusts himself so much that he'll make some throws that are gambles, right? They're risks. Mm-hmm. But the Eagles were a good team at taking the ball away this season. So that's an area maybe, and it's one of the great things about Hurts is he does not rarely ever turns the ball over. As much as he has it in his hands running and throwing, there's not a lot of giveaways from Jalen Hurts. So that's a great trait that he has. Yeah. Yeah,
huge
but
plus.
This is different. I mean, this is not Brock Purdy and Daniel Jones. With all due respect to what the Eagles have done, it's a huge, huge step up in class, for sure.
Now, how healthy is that ankle sprain? Because the medical experts say an ankle sprain usually takes 6 to 8 weeks to heal. He didn't look like he was too far off in that game against Cincinnati, especially when he stepped up in the pocket and threw it off one leg. Now, he may not be able to spin as much as he does. But he can still buy time. He's smart enough to know how to buy time on that bad ankle. So
he'll still have that they'll put enough go-go juice in him, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like the combination of special vitamins and adrenaline. Yes. He's not going to be 100%. You saw it in the game Sunday night, but like I'm not counting on that being. I know he may not be able to do as much as he can usually do, but I'm not hanging my hat on this guy can't move in the pocket. I don't buy
it. No. I mean, there may be limitations, because it's going to be heavily taped, and that might affect his mobility to a certain degree. But there are a lot of numbing agents, vitamins, juice that you can put in that body to put that thing to sleep for about 3.5 hours. And if it falls off after the game, so be it. You got 7 months to get ready for the next season. But the fact that he came back in that game against Jacksonville and finished off that game on one ankle and then turned around and limped through that Bengals game. And he still took off and had one of the biggest plays of the game. He took off and ran for a first down.
Right. When he had to have it, he went. It was there. When he had to have it, worst case scenario.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the Eagles better not fall asleep thinking they got this dude right where they want him, dead to rights, because he's going to take off and he's got an extra week to get ready.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, you're right, Derek. That extra week is big, man. It's big. This comes down to like any other game. You got to get home. You got to finish him. If you let him get out of the pocket is where he loves to operate. And that's where he and Kelsey are so dangerous. So you got to get him and bring him down. And the Eagles are the best team in football at that, but they have to be in the best team in football at that this week coming up, or, a week from Sunday. He's got to be that guy. And they got to be that team.
So you have 4 key weapons on offense for the Chiefs limping right now. 3 receivers, 3 primary receivers, and the quarterback, franchise quarterback limping right now. How many? Well, we know the quarterback will be there, but how many of those other weapons will be there as well? That remains to be seen. And that's why, if you remember a few years, they decided to have the Super Bowl 1 week after the conference championship games. From a fan perspective, I'm so glad they went back to, as much as we hate it because of what we do is talk about this stuff daily. I'm so glad it's gone back to having a 2-week grace period to let bodies heal up and get ready for the biggest game and the final game of a season.
That's what my Super Bowl was.
Yeah, you had the rare one, that rare one. Yeah.
We played on Saturday. We were on the plane going to Detroit on Sunday night. So yeah, man, it blew. It blows doing it that way. You know what I'm saying? You know, you really didn't get a chance to prepare for it. As soon as we got back from beating up Denver, flew back, had a meeting. As soon as we touched down, we had a meeting saying what we needed to do and how we needed to go about doing what we're doing, when we could bring our family up and all that, you know, taking care of the ticket situation. Everything was done so fast that, you know, you really didn't have time to enjoy it, you know, the being in the Super Bowl.
Right.
So, you know, plus we were in cold behind.
I was going to say, the one Super Bowl you get to be in, B. Brooks, you got to go to Detroit in the middle of the winter.
The only one I get to cover.
Yeah.
Is in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Bro, I've been cursed to be up north, man, because Philly, Detroit, Green Bay, Giants, Steelers.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
you
right?
You don't even get a Super Bowl in San Diego, Los Angeles, Phoenix, Miami, Tampa.
This is the first time in Phoenix, man. It's my first time, bro. So I'm anxious to, you know, spend more because I mean I played there. I never really kicked it. I played there and I covered games there, but I never had a chance to really enjoy Arizona. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't wait to go to this. I can't wait to go ahead and partake in the cuisines down there. You know, what's that steakhouse you told me to go to?
44.
Steakhouse 44. I'll make sure I try to.
They got a lot of great Mexican restaurants there. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, I can only imagine.
You try the chicken. Man, you know what? You ain't never allowed in my house. You go to another steakhouse and get chicken.
All right.
The reason why I did that, though, seriously, the reason why I did it because I had the chicken there before. That's why I did. I told you that.
And
later
like
on.
Dickens, you did.
Yeah. I had the chicken at Dickens before, and because remember I let you taste it too. You like.
You did. It
was damn, B. Brooks, I understand. You said, damn, I see why you did it because it's awesome, man. Because I had it before. It was awesome, man. It was awesome.
I don't go to a steakhouse for fish or chicken. I don't go to a fish house for chicken, for steak, and I don't go to a chicken house for fish or steak either. You know, there's a reason why they specify what they are, and I want to make sure I get the best of what they have to offer in that regard. But, you know, we had a producer, Neil Slotkin, who we traveled with for years. Great writer, great producer, great insight. Everywhere we went. Huh?
He's been at the job a couple of times for this past 6 months.
Yeah. Everywhere we went on road trips, he had to have chicken. He got to a point, sometimes we ditch him because we got tired of him ordering chicken at Mexican restaurant, steak at steakhouses, seafood joints. First thing you say on the menu, waiter or waitress come over, how was your chicken prepared? Man, get up from the table. Just get up. Just go. Just leave. He had to have chicken, man. Yeah,
boy John Clark, he loves him a good steak, man.
Oh, that dude, he's looking for the best steakhouse he can find every city he goes to.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't mad at him. You know.
He's definitely a carnivore.
But then there's occasionally you get disappointed. You go to a steakhouse because you've heard, you know, anytime we go to a new city, we always ask, the best people to ask is the concierge in the hotels.
Yeah,
because they know where everything is. And plus, a lot of times they have a hotel will have a connection with a restaurant that if you send X amount of people from your hotel will take care of them. So there's been places that we've gone that are famous places that you normally couldn't get in unless you booked a spot a week ahead of time. They'll make concessions for you because the hotel is sending them there. But then there are other places you go and you hear about a place and it's like, this is the best. I've been to a couple steakhouses that were supposed to be decent that were like, I will never go back there again. Steak is mushy. It doesn't have the char marks on it the way you like it. The flavoring and the seasoning is not right. And even when they give you the horseradish sauce to dip your steak in, if you so desire, doesn't taste right. It's like, really? That's it. Okay, you get one and done. That's it. Done with you.
All right. So good wins for the Chiefs, bad wins for the Chiefs, or bad losses, or whatever, however you want to put it. So they beat the Jags 27-20. They beat the Bengals 23-20 in the playoffs. Both good wins for sure. Both teams who are playing well. Jags coming off the great upset. Bengals had their number. Bengals had beaten them 3 straight. Both good wins. Regular season, some of these are debatable. They beat the Chargers twice. Beat Tampa Bay, who was a playoff team. They beat San Francisco, who was a playoff team. They beat Tennessee, who wasn't a playoff team, but was They beat Jacksonville during the regular season, who was a playoff team. So in Seattle. So there's some pretty good wins there, right? Losses at the Colts, week 3. Home to the Bills, week 6. At the Bengals, week 13. Yeah, they same record the Eagles had. They were 14-3.
So 2 to 3 losses were legit losses.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
The only one you could say is the Colts. And then you look at the Eagles, they lost to the Saints in Washington, who didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So it's like, this stuff happens during the regular season.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of letdown with this Kansas City team. They have continuity. They've had Bieniemy and Spagnuolo there for a while. Andy's been there for a while. Mahomes has been in place for a good amount of time. They've had some turnover at the receiver position. That much we know. They've done a good job drafting, which is a really big part of their success. I mean, what is it? 3 on offense, 4 on defense from the last year or so out of the draft contributing. Like, that's a lot.
2 years or less experience. And if you couple in several players with 3 years or less experience, this is a really young team that somehow, some way found a way to win 14 regular season games against decent competition.
Mm-hmm.
And their draft, we hone in on Philadelphia, but their draft, they hit a home run with their draft this past year in terms of players who stepped up and contributed right away for them. Mm-hmm. They have 3 rookies. I mean, think about it: McDuffie, the DN Karlaftis, and McDuff. What's his name? Pacheco.
Isaiah Pacheco. Yep.
Have been monumental in their success this season.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't happen often, but kudos to them. I mean, obviously, their drafting and scouting staff do a good job of finding these players that they want to fit their system. No question.
That's Brett Veach and Andy are really in a zone right now.
Yeah, they are
connected on the same page, right, Barrett? I mean, these guys that they're getting are not just coming in here and giving them a little bit; they're giving them a lot.
Right. I mean, they have been masterful at getting these guys to play at a high level, man. I mean, to go out and get Trent McDuffie in the first, and you got George Karlaftis in the first. That one of those draft picks they get from the trade,
right? Of
trading, the Cheetah, and then you turn right back around, and you're able to get guys, Pacheco to go in and play it. He was a 7th rounder.
Crazy.
In fact, both their 7th rounders right now are starting. Pacheco, who's from Rutgers, and then you got Jalen Watson, who's from Washington State, cornerback. And I mean, this it's a big kid. I mean, he's slow as pound water, but he plays aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
He's 6'1", 202 pounds. It's gonna be a good matchup with him and AJ.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I hope they mess around and think that he can cover him 1-on-1. I really pray that he think that.
Do you think that's the approach they're going to take, Barrett?
Yes, because he comes from the same. He comes from Jimmy Johnson's tree. They're going to blitz, and they're going to lead those guys 1-on-1, and that's just not smart to me to play an Eagles team 1-on-1 on the outside, man-to-man coverage.
Yeah,
especially when you have 2 dominant wide receivers, 2 contrasting styles. Smitty is a great route runner. He creates separation with his quickness and his route running. He understands body movement. He goes up and he can contort his body into different ways to catch the ball, always at the highest point. Then you got the guy that's gonna go out there and Debo make your cornerbacks look small in AJ Brown. Then you got to have somebody that's going to be able to cover, Dallas Goedert in the middle of the field.
Mm-hmm.
Can they man to man? I like Nick Bolton, but he can't do it by himself. Right now, Willie Gay is not playing. He's hurt right now. I don't know if he is going to play. Snead's hurt also, so we'll see. Brian Cook kind of tweaked something. Who's another rookie, a second rounder, that's playing and getting some reps also in the slot. I don't know. I mean, how can you do that? Then up front, Frank Clark and Jones, they're doing all right. Kalaf is doing all right.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they'll have a direct influence on our offensive line. I know Frank Clark can be handled by both Mailata and Lane, and Kalaf also.
Right.
It's a wash. The only guy that we have to think about, Chris Jones is that good that you got to figure out where he is.
Mm-hmm.
You have to. And he plays everywhere on that D line. He plays it in 3 technique, nose. He's good.
He's Bosa. He's in terms of like the guy that you have to figure out, or else he'll kill you.
He's better than most.
Yeah.
Hey, B. Brooks, you were talking about places you want to try, the local cuisine, and John Dickerson has the perfect place for you to try. He says it's Dirty's Topless Sports Bar and Grill in Phoenix, $7 steak and fries.
$7? That's not a bad deal. You might be spending your money on other things in there.
Look here, man. I ain't spending $7 on no steak. You spend $7 on a steak. You know what you get? Something that was under a car tire in the middle of a hot Arizona
True,
desert
but you're
road.
saving up your dollar bills for something else.
It might be good too.
Okay,
nothing like good steak and entertainment, bro.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead then. All right. Is the wife going out to Arizona too?
You know it.
Huh?
You know it.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
He won't be going there.
Find out you had Dirties. Go ahead. I want to see that when you come back.
Dirties will be on the menu
with a big bubble on your eye the next week.
No, he'll be in cleanies if that's the case. That's for
hey,
sure.
Hey, look. Hey, Barkan, what'd you say? Yeah.
Let's go to Cyclops Brooks. Bear Brooks live on the scene. Bear, what happened to your bubble eye?
Exactly. Oh my God. All right. On that note,
so you say $7 steak and top. Only dank, man. Only dank, bro.
That's it.
That's it.
Oh, all right, let's come back. We'll mix in a little Sixers, a little Phillies fun facts for you as they're getting close to pitchers and catchers. And then in the NFL segment, a little movement from Deuce Staley. Dolphins make a move. Jimmy G. We'll remember Bobby Beathard. Brady retirement question regarding his maybe future gig. Super Bowl odds for next year as well. A lot in store. Don't go anywhere. Derek Gunn, Barrett Brooks, Rob Ellis. We're Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. Right now, we're going to talk about Flynn Tree Services. Yes, Flynn Tree Services is an experienced, licensed, and insured Pennsylvania tree services company that will trim or remove any unwanted trees off of your property. They offer cost-effective solutions to any tree problem that you may face. So if you have any type of tree issue in your yard or on your property, they're just a quick phone call away, and they service southeastern Pennsylvania, South Jersey, and northern Delaware. They specialize in tree removal, stump grinding, as well as tree pruning. Keep in mind, we have storm and hurricane season upon us right now. It's a great time before things get really crazy as we get deeper into the winter to get your trees evaluated. Go to their Facebook or Instagram page for more information or a sampling of their work. Give Flynn Tree Services a call, 610-850-2848, 610-850-2848, or online at flynntreeservices.com. That's flynntreeservices.com.
Go for the